I told my boss, I said, man, like I'm ready to become a chef, and I don't know if you have something or if you know what the deal is, but if your opportunity comes first, or another opportunity comes first, or an opportunity for me to open up my own place comes first, I'm gonna take either one. So I'm just letting you know that that's where I'm at. This is the place that I'm at in my career now. And he goes, okay, it's understandable. It's the natural, position and place for people in your position to be in. And I'm glad you told me. So then not even a month later, he comes up to me. He's like, I have something for you.
Are you tired of the same old weekend routine? Looking for something new and exciting? Then get ready to rev your engines at Throttle and Swing, the ultimate entertainment destination at NOLA Motorsports Park. We're talking about an 80 configuration go-kart track that'll have you feeling like a pro racer. And that's just the beginning. There's also a brand new 18-hole mini golf course and a state-of-the-art arcade. When it's time to refuel, enjoy delicious craft pizza, a full kitchen, and a bar serving up unique cocktails and gourmet coffee. You can also kick back in the outdoor lawn area, complete with a playground, live music stage, a massive screen for watch parties, and free Wi-Fi. Perfect for work or play. Planning a party? Throttle and Swing has you covered for gatherings of any size. So what are you waiting for? Head over to NOLA Motorsports Park on the West Bank and experience the unmatched excitement of Throttle and Swing. Throttle and Swing at NOLA Motorsports Park. Get your adrenaline pumping.
Chocolate lovers rejoice. Scandalous Chocolates has arrived in New York with 4 sensational new varieties.
That's right. They aren't just chocolates. They're an experience. Premium edibles crafted with the finest ingredients, blending sweet and savory sophistication.
We're talking 20 milligrams premium chocolate lips, sleekly packaged, perfect for on-the-go indulgence. Nuts, fruits, caramel, it's an affair you can take anywhere.
At just $10, it's an affordable luxury. Fair trade, single origin, gluten-free, and vegan. Find Scandalous Chocolates at quality dispensaries like Travel Agency in Gotham.
Scandalous Chocolates. When you're in New York, awaken your senses and delight your palate.
The affair you could take anywhere. Scandalous. Are you looking for a unique New Orleans experience?
Check out New Orleans artist Frenchie at FrenchieLive.com.
Featuring original artworks, prints, and more. See it all at www.frenchielive.com.
Live event bookings are available. The gallery is open by appointment only.
And for private showings or parties, email info@frenchielive.com.
Experience the art. Experience the artist. Frenchie Gallery. www.frenchielive.com.
Hey, Jay, you hungry? Like really hungry?
Yeah, I'm in the mood for oysters. Hey, let's check out Trenas.
Oysters? I love oysters.
Trenas features a wide variety of local oysters. Char, grilled, baked, and on the half shell, even the famous oyster log.
Oyster log? I heard about that. You get 6 each of their signature baked oysters, plus 6 fried, all on a cypress slab?
42 oysters. We are going to love it. Trenas is located in the Hotel Intercontinental, 444 St. Charles Avenue, right on the parade route.
Sweet. When can we go?
7 days a week for lunch and dinner, plus a mimosa brunch on weekends, and happy hour daily from 3 to 6.
Happy hour? Nah, you're talking my language.
Great drinks, great wine list. An award-winning chef, Matthew Farmer, leads a team serving the best seafood in New Orleans. Trenas.
Trenas, got it. Let's go.
Walking, stepping down the street, y'all. Talking, never know who you're gonna meet. Dancing, the groove feels so good to me. Singing, wow, yes indeed, y'all. Soulful living is all we know how to do. In the greatest place on earth, I'm talking about New Orleans.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, kids of all ages. Welcome back to Only Good Vibes News Network. Show 75. Wow, 75 shows. We are blessed. And I want to first of all say thank you to all our sponsors. Thank you to all of our guys who helped make this show available and who's been with us forever. And also we want to say thank you to all our listeners. Shecky out there in France, of course, Jack and Sherry in Italy. And then we also have Charlie Howard, who is recovering from his hip surgery in Dominical in Costa Rica. Charlie, pura vida, my brother. Get well soon, bro. And for all you guys out there, thank you for tuning in. Could you please do us a favor here? Like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button. Tell your friends about it. And if you know anybody who's doing some positive things like our guest here today, feel free to go ahead and hit me up. Shoot us an email. We're on YouTube. We're on all platforms. Our YouTube channel is Only Good Vibes News Network. And we are on all podcast platforms. So first of all, what we always do here, we start off the show to get the, we start off the show because New Orleans is a place where we talk about the culture, the people, the music, the food, and just the stuff that makes New Orleans what it is. So we always want to start the energy off with clearing the air with everything. We burn Palo Santos and sage, and we get these Zen cards by David Levine. And it's a deck of cards, and they have a name on the front, and it has something on the back. And I basically just shuffle up the cards and don't pay any attention to just the guess of the vibe, and the vibe of the guest, rather. And I'll just, spread them out like so, and pick one with one hand. Whichever hand gets burned, okay, it looks like it's that one. And then I'll come back here, look away again, and I lower my hand into the Palo Santos and say it's sacrificial. And boom. All right. Will, my man.
What's happening?
First of all, these cards are solid. And every time I'm with a guest, whether it's me and my wife doing this whenever I'm not even having a show, or if I'm on the phone with somebody and I'm pulling them, their energy is what I come with these cards, and I blame it on that too. So this card today, the first one is loyalty. And there's a little insignia on the back. And the back says, become loyal to your innermost truth. Follow the way when others abandon it. Walk in the path of your own heart. Dude, that is exactly what our guest today has done in so many ways. So many things. He is a trendsetter, and he is a leader, and he does, as far as I can see from the naked, trained eye, this man walks in the path of his own heart, and he lives his own truth. And there's another word that my mother-in-law and my father-in-law used to always say, and it cracks me up. They're like, "Oh, Leroy, could you come and help us? We're suffering." Regardless of whatever it was, she said she was suffering. But suffering is this card. Oof. And it says, the cause of all suffering is craving, desiring things that you do not have. And suffering will follow. Realize this and peace will be yours. Suffering will disappear and contentment will reign. So, dude, these cards always hit randomly throughout the day. And I always start the day off with these cards, even if we're not taping the show, because we understand that our highest level of us meditating while we're alive on this earth is just when we're sleeping. It's called theta state. And right before we go to bed, it's called alpha. And when we wake up, it's alpha state, right? So when we have those two times, that's the most important times for us to kind of manifest and kind of cultivate what we want and be thankful and grateful for those times. So when you go to bed, I hadn't really mastered this yet. I've done it once or twice, and I'll keep on working on it. Is no screen time.
Sure.
2 hours before you go to sleep. No phone, no TV, none of that
2
stuff.
hours.
2 hours.
Oof.
And then it's like you a chef, and, it's like I always use it as going to bed when I was cooking a roast. Like in that 2 hours, you're preparing it. And then when you go to sleep, you put it in the oven on 225 or something. And you just let it cook.
Slow roast.
Yeah, those thoughts grateful for today, man. I'm grateful that this happened. I'm just so blessed because of this. And fall off to sleep. And when you wake up, as soon as I open up my eyes, the first thing I say every single day is, today is a freaking amazing day. Man, I can't believe it's so amazing. I woke up again. I hit the life lottery. There's 150,000 people who didn't get that lottery card that day.
In a day. Wow.
And so all the other stuff is just stuff, right? And I pull these, then I come down here and pull these cards, burn Palo Santos and Sage. But every day I look at that as my armor before I pick up my phone and talk to my team, say, hey man, look, because I work in a credit card processing for 18 years. And every time I'm getting calls, it's 90% time, the machine ain't working, dude. Yeah. It is a problem. So I have to walk into there like a fireman in my gear so I can protect myself. And that's my gear, man. And those are some beautiful cards. And look, guys, for those folks who don't know our guest today, our guest is a very dear friend of the show and a dear friend of mine and our family. And he has been putting out positive vibes in the food world forever, as long as I've known him. And him and I both, we have alma maters. We both went to Grace King. Correct. We both went to Delgado. And we both love New Orleans, man. And you guys probably know Will. Will is at, but he was in first, if I get this right, I know I'm going to say the first place that I saw it here. I have it here. The first place that you were at was Emeril's Delmonico.
That's correct.
And Emeril's Delmonico, I'm just going to go this, then we're going to go down this road because I can tell a story about this guy and everything. Emeril Delmonico's, NOLA Restaurant, Meril's, and Mawi Tortillas is where my man is now in his own business. But without any further ado, world-renowned, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Will Avelar, brother. What's happening, man?
Where's the claps? Come on.
See, Will's a true professional, not even just cooking and everything else.
The button with the claps.
That's what this is for, right? That's what we're going to
coming. It's coming.
Yeah, so I bought into, if you're comfortable, you're not growing. Yeah. Right? So I've been very uncomfortable here. So I have been growing a lot.
You're still growing.
And so I'm a little too comfortable because I haven't done
last time I came, you grew.
I did. I'm still trying to get it. But Will, thanks so much, man, for your time. Because we know, and we say this to nauseum here. We say a lot of things to nauseum that are positive. But one of them is your time is the most important thing you have. You can do anything in the world that you want to. So it's very important for me to tell people, whether they come to New Orleans or whether they're my friends that could come and do the show. Yeah. Thank you for your time, Will, because you could do dude, you could probably do 2 million things, bro. You're a big time chef. And the thing about you I love the most, Will, bro, and honestly, and I'm saying this from my heart, man, you're so genuine. And that's one of the, most of my friends I know about 30 years. It's just a New Orleans thing. I was always asking people, is it just something that I did, that we did? Because I always feel like when people stay the same, they're the same like they were 30 years ago. That's why we still the same friends. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a reason why you connected.
Yes. And it's energy, right? And our energy. Sometimes you don't have the same energy with some people, and that's okay. Yeah. It just means that everybody's not perfect. Yeah. Everybody's not the same. We're going to but you may like them later, or the energy may change. But you and I, the energy has always been good. And I want to go back to Del's for a second.
Yeah.
I proposed to my wife.
I know.
At Del, man.
I celebrate it every year.
Yes, at Delmonico every year. And the thing is, Will, I got to be honest with you when I tell you this too, man. I have never found an aged steak like
better
Del's
than that one
ever. Dude, man, when you guys shut that down, it's just a hole in my heart.
Yeah, me too.
There's some people who say, "Oh, aged," and I'm like, dude.
Yeah, you haven't had dry aged steak.
This ain't aged, bro. Yeah. I hear you, but and look, my daughter, Monty's probably, you're gonna listen to this, Monty. Fleming's is putting up a good. Fleming's is that guy now. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, because they do have age, and then it's like you gotta have an acquired taste for that funk.
It's a little funky.
Yeah, my wife's like, but I love it. Yeah, that's I
aroma,
smell
it almost smells rotten when it's cooked and it hits your table, but it does not taste that way. It does not taste that way.
My wife used to laugh. She's like, "You look like a shark." Because I mean, I'll be at Dell high-end tablecloth restaurant. I'm like picking this bone up, bro. I'm like,
that bone and ribeye.
It's so good. But Will, thanks for coming, man.
Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate it. I mean, that was a big monologue for you, but I mean, dude, you got so many things, you know?
Yeah.
And it just makes me happy to have you in here, man. I have a lot of people that come on this show. 90% of the people are just in my Rolodex. You know, and I'm just blessed.
Yeah.
And every time I get somebody like you in here and I talk about how I just, you know, we don't vet our guests. I just go through oh my God, like me and you, we've been trying to make it hit a couple times. We ran into each other.
Of course.
And you're like, bro, you'd say when. I was like, okay.
Whenever you're ready.
I was on it, dude.
Whenever you're ready.
The first question I want to ask you is this, Will. When did you know or think I'm going to be going into the restaurant business, or the food really captivated you and you were like, I think I could do something with this. I mean, our food is like it's a very close, like an attachment to life, right? And like music is. Like it's a very, very like connection for people who don't, to meet people.
Yep.
More than music. I mean, you can meet people at a concert, don't get me wrong, same thing, but like food, when you sit down breaking bread with somebody,
it brings people together.
Yes. Yes. And so I'm pretty sure we always doing that. But when did you know that you had like a superpower more than just the average bear about saying, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to go down this road. I don't know what it's going to end up in, but I guess the better question is, when were you first introduced to cooking and you felt like a feeling from it?
I was very young. I would say very young at this point. It was probably like 16 or 17. But I started working in the restaurant business when I was 14 years old. I was a busboy. I had no idea what the term busboy was. I applied for a job, this restaurant called Tiffany's Restaurant in New Orleans. I mean, in Metairie. It used to be on West Esplanade, right before Clearview, between Clearview and Transcontinental, which is right around the corner from my house. I grew up in Metairie. I was born at EJ Hospital. We went to Grace King High School.
Yep. Metairie guy too.
Yeah, I walked over there to fill out an application because I was 14, and you know, I was wanting a different pair of shoes. I wanted my own clothes. You know, I was wearing my dad's stuff. You know, so I was kind of like, nah, man, I can't go to high school like this. So I went and applied, and then this was like right before the summer started. I was still in school at that point, but I went to Costa Rica. I went to go see my mom that year, and I think I spent maybe like 3-4 weeks out there. And then while I was out there, my dad called, hey, how you doing, son? How's the trip going? I was like, cool, it's chill. You know, I'm just relaxing and enjoying the neighborhood again, because I lived there for 8 years, and it was probably like 4 years since I had been back, and I just went to go visit my mom. So when I was there and my dad called, he's like, hey, oh, by the way, your job that you applied for called. And I was like, wait, I forget. Where did I apply for? Where was it? No, this restaurant, they said they want you to be a busboy. And that's when I was like, what the hell is a busboy? And he's like, oh, no, that's the people that clean the tables and, you know, doing this and that. And I said, okay, well, cool. He's like, well, when you come back, maybe you should just go check in, because I told him that you had taken a trip out the country for your summer vacation. So when I went back, I got the job, basically. I started off as a busboy, and then, you know, multitasking as usual, you know, you helping the dishwasher. And then, you know, I picked up some dishwasher shifts because I just kept busy, you know. I just kept working, and one day there was a guy that either didn't show up, I forget, for whatever reason, and I was like, put me in, coach. Like I'll try it out. You know, I've seen enough. Just show me how to do it, and then, you know. So I started off and back then, I don't know if the terminology is still used in the kitchens. It was called the sandbox. So whenever you start working in a restaurant, you start in the sandbox where the kids play, right? So the children, they're all in the sandbox. But it was the fry station. So I learned how to fry fish, how to fry shrimp, how to fry oysters.
That's a little advanced though. I mean, if you're going bus to fry, and I mean, maybe.
Well, bus to dishwasher to then fry.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
Okay, so you did a little time,
kinda,
right.
I had spent about a year maybe already working. So it was cool. But then when I got in the kitchen, I said, okay, I really enjoy this. I don't really enjoy going to the customer and spilling water while I'm giving their water service. I don't really like serving them coffee and not realizing the coffee was like old, and you know, they're like, this coffee's been sitting there for a couple hours, right? And I was like, oh shit, I didn't check that, you know, because that's the busboy stuff. So I didn't really like the guest interaction. I didn't feel like I was old enough yet or mature enough yet and had that experience or exposure to have that customer service to say hello, good afternoon, welcome in, you know, all those proper, you know, steps of service that now I'm like extremely comfortable with. Like you can walk in a restaurant and I'm gonna wine and dine you.
I call you Chill,
you know?
Will.
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah. So now it's different, but then I preferred being in the kitchen. It was closed down, closed from the guests. It wasn't an open kitchen like I'm accustomed to working in now, but I had a little bit more freedom. You know, I could wear T-shirts, I could wear shorts, I could wear sneakers. I just always had an apron on, you know, and it was fun. It was a lot more fun because I didn't have to deal with the customer. But then a couple of years went by, and I was taking home ec classes. Back then they were called home ec. Now they're called culinary courses in high school.
Wow.
And I would go to school, like crack eggs with one hand, and all my like, you know, my friends at school, they were like, oh, this dude's like a pro, you know, he works in a kitchen. And I'm like, no, this is like how you do it because you're trying to move through it. Yeah. So I started picking up, you know, the little things to get better at. And once it was time to come decide what kind of career I was going to go, it was either going to be an architect or I was going to go ahead and go to culinary school. And architecture, as it always, like, it's intriguing to me, but I knew it was going to be a lot of like studying and a lot of work. But I had already had a leg in with the restaurants. So I said, let me just actually get a degree in this. So I went to Delgado. I got my associate's degree from there. And then as soon as I got my degree, that's when I said, okay, well now I have more than just like, you know, experience. Now I have a talent, and more than anything, I had love for it. So I love cooking. I enjoy waking up, having to make breakfast, and I enjoy getting to work and, you know, getting stations set up. I enjoy the reward you get when a customer is like, damn, dude, like that was just like, I never thought somebody made a better dry aged steak until you didn't make it anymore. Right. You know, that's the reward that's more fulfilling than any kind of, you know, check or, you know, any kind of feeling you get from anything else. So I'm sure in everybody's profession, there is a reward that you feel when you're satisfied with your job. So yeah, yesterday I had a customer and they were like, dude, this fried oyster BLT sandwich that you just like, I never finished my food. And I did. And that just tells you, like, I don't finish my meal. And that was the best thing. And I'm coming back next year because I'm in Biloxi. I'm in Ocean Springs now. But this lady was at a convention in Biloxi. And she's like, I'm coming back because every year I come for a convention in Biloxi. And if you're not here next year, I'm going to be pissed off. I said, yes, ma'am. I'm going to do my best to be here for you next year.
Dude, that is unbelievable, man. So you knew, because I think the love is what guided you.
Yes. The love is a big thing for me, because if it like, I see a lot of people get into the restaurant industry, and I see a lot of people come through the kitchens and the different positions that the restaurants offer, and they just see it as a job. Like, I'm here to collect a check because I have another mission I'm, you know, working on. This is my side gig. And that's cool. But when you have a person that comes in and they're talented and they're dedicated and they put the effort in and they show up early and they stay late and they come in when they're off, and like, that's just the energy that, you know, that's what you need to be in this industry.
Because it's a lot.
Long time.
It's like you got 20, 30 kids.
every time, right? Like, hey, man, I'm not gonna be
I
able to make it
personally
today.
only have 2.
No,
but
but you know, you extend it, kids, right?
No,
But
all your staff members, like all the people that you have to micromanage, all the people you have to manage, all the people you have to schedule, and not only that, like all the people that you have to deal with that are customers.
That's all your in-house too. And then like when you're talking about the customers, that's the people that's out. Like you're really like, oh Lord.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Will, man, it seems like to me, ever since we met you, you're always having fun.
Yes.
Like, you know, some people, you see some chefs, they always kind of like wrinkled up.
They
Man,
shouldn't
these
be
people
in the industry.
You know what I mean? Like they just,
They
like they
shouldn't be
almost
in
got
the
their
industry.
arm being twisted.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
But
yeah.
when you come across someone like you who's refreshing and loves what they do,
You
and
have
that's
to.
the key.
You have to.
And that is a tough gig.
It's really tough, man.
I mean,
it's
it's
still
a
tough
restaurant,
to this day.
it don't care
Yeah.
what happens, how many people didn't show up or whatever. It's
Yeah.
Mother's
Who
Day. They
called
people
out,
coming
you
out.
know?
It's Halloween. The holiday is there, and they don't care about nothing but what they're going to eat and
Exactly.
whatever. And all the other stuff don't matter.
And you
to
have
them.
to do it with a smile on your face.
And you have
Because
to.
they won't come back.
I feel like you have to have amnesia too, kind of like a quarterback. Like
Yeah.
you throw that intercept, you're like, oh well, next time I'm throwing the next down too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's just one person. It ain't every single person there, you know. And the thing of that, for me, looking at you made me feel like I want to go back.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I know that's the love, right? Because you're like, I got to come back because this dude, like the lady. And when you said that about the BLT, dude, I never even thought about
Yeah.
putting an oyster on a BLT.
Oh, you got to. You got to. It's bacon and oysters. It just makes sense.
Yes.
Oysters Rockefeller or bacon wrapped oysters or, you know, just like oysters and bacon or peanut butter jelly, you know.
I always call a really good chef like yourself a mad scientist because you are in a lab. And just how you like, bing,
Yep.
oysters. And so that's what that made you think this would go great on a BLT because
Yes.
of the
Yes.
bacon and the
Yes.
oyster.
Yes.
Dude, the mayo, the lettuce,
Everything
tomato.
makes sense. Yeah, you could.
I'm
see,
like, I can't get it out of my head now.
But when you start looking at food and you start saying, okay, well now I know what these flavors are gonna taste like together, that's when you know you've got enough experience on your belt to say, I'm gonna put bacon and oysters in a BLT, and I know it's gonna hit.
And
It
get
doesn't matter.
bold, right?
You're confident in your experience and your exposure to food and your flavor combinations and your texture combinations and all that, and you know you
Sweet
can,
and savory and all that other
so
stuff.
it's cool when you get to that level of cooking where you're like, I've tasted this enough and I've tasted this enough and I've tasted these two enough together that I know that I can build something else with both of them.
So you were working at these guys, and they moved up from dishwasher
Yep.
to the
busboy, dishwasher,
dishwasher to sandbox.
fry station,
And then
so it was a mom and pop's like Italian restaurant. They had the neon sign outside. It's Italian steaks, seafood, and pasta. Or it's like the three.
right.
It's just like really old school Italian, Creole Italian.
Yeah.
So it was one of the first places that I learned how to pot cook. I made sauces, I made gumbos, I made bisques.
So everything in a pot.
Every pot cooking. Yeah, it was like once you get into and the I would say the proper like culinary terminology for pot cooks are like the sauciers. They make the sauces, they make the soups, they make the stocks. But when you're not as refined, and it was a unrefined restaurant, I was considered pot cooking.
But
you
that-
know what I mean?
I mean, that's what the ancient, like that's where
It's the lingo.
derived from that whole thing. And
Yeah,
like
it's a
this
pot. It's
fancy
all in one
word.
pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Pot
one of the
cooking.
things that I love about the restaurant. Like if you stop and think about something for long enough, it almost is like necessity is a mother of invention. Like you had a pot.
Yep.
You had to make the sauce. So like
What
pot,
are we gonna make with it?
right? You know what I mean? So everything in a pot. So-
Yeah.
And then now they doctor it up a little bit. So
For
after
sure,
you
for
left
sure.
there,
So I left there. I actually I always used to go out to Cafe Banquet uptown.
dude,
Remember Botania?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So
yes.
I would like on the weekends I would drive up. I would get off on St. Charles and head out to Cafe Banquet because we would come from Metairie. But would drive through St. Charles and always see that Delmonico sign, and I'm like, that's a cool spot. And I didn't even know what the food was like. I don't think at that point I didn't even know it was owned by Emeril Lagasse, because it was just the impact of the sign. And I said, I want to go work there.
It was clean. It was sharp. It wasn't
the
overboard.
Streetcar, like everything, that the location. And now it's sad because, you know, I drove through there not too long ago at Mother's Day. I drove on St. Charles and I passed it up, and I was with the kids, and I was like, that's where Delmonico used to be, because they forgot where it was, but they didn't forget when they used to come over there and when I was over there. But it's sad now because it's no longer there. But I spent so many years working there, and I was going out all the time, and I passed up the sign, and I'm like, that's where I want to work. And then all of a sudden, I told my former that she's one of my mentors, Miss Diane Timpany. She's the owner of Timpany's restaurant. I told her, I said, Miss Diane, I'm gonna go work at Delmonico, and I'm gonna go apply over there. And she's like, oh, you're gonna go work for the big guy, huh? You know, so I was like, what
Who's
big guy?
the big guy, right?
Like, that's Emeril's place. I was like, what? And I only knew Emeril because my mom watched Emeril, you know, on TV. And at that point, everybody knew who he was because of the Emeril live show. But I was like, really? So that kind of like intimidated me a little bit, kind of put a little shaking in me, you know, trying to go apply. But I said, you know, I'm going to go no matter what. I went, I applied, and then again, I don't know what it is, but I applied, and then I went to go visit my mom in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
So at that point, she had left Costa Rica. I think she moved to the Bahamas. She was going to be a teacher. And they called me from work
again. Like, dude, you got another one.
Yeah. So I was like, sir, I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to be there. I probably sketched myself for my first day to come in. I am so sorry, but I'm out the country. I'm visiting my mom. I'll be back next week, and I promise you, as soon as I land, I'm gonna come over there. So sure enough, I did. I walk in the door when I came back, and the person at the door, I don't know if you probably, of course you got to know him, Isaac Toops.
Oh, dude. He just got a letter, the same thing Ivan Neville got. He just got a letter doctoring.
Yes, from the, what is it, Loyola or from
Loyola.
Loyola, yeah. That's awesome.
It is.
They're doing great work with the Toops family meal.
Dude,
you know.
it is. Oh, I'm getting him and
Amanda.
Yeah, on here at some point too.
Yes, you got to.
Yeah.
So Isaac opens the door and he's like, how can I help you? And, you know, Isaac's got the knife on his belt.
I was about to say,
complete
please tell me how he
coon-ass.
looked, bro.
Yeah, he had the belt buckle. I think he's got bullets on the buckle, and then he's got the knife with the pocket.
He's still
already.
that same dude too.
No,
bro.
he never changed.
Awesome,
you could take the boy out of fucking Rain, fucking Louisiana, but
he just has that raw touch.
He's so Cajun and you think that it's a persona or an act. It's him.
It is,
it's him.
dude.
So he opens up the door. He's like, hey, I can help you. It's like, oh yeah, I'm here for a job that, you know, and I didn't know this until years later. So he goes up to the chef at that point. Rest in peace, Shane Pritchett.
Yeah.
He goes up to Shane and he's like, hey, you know that guy who fucking bailed on you? And he's coming here looking for his job again. He's like, what do you want me to fucking do with him?
That sounds exactly like Isaac, dude.
He's like, what you want me to do with him? He's like, just bring him over. So I go over there and I talk to him, and I actually like bring my Delgado log book. We used to have to log all of our recipes that we made at the restaurant as part of the culinary program. So I brought my logbook, and I'm like, you know, it's my showpiece, it's my work,
Yep,
it's
my book of
this
work,
is my resume
baby.
right here so far. And they're just like, okay, so yeah, they're looking at me, but not looking at the fucking work that I'm presenting.
Like, what you got,
these
buddy?
is hours of fucking work that I had to put in.
Put my ass on the
and
line
then you
all
guys
the
don't
time.
give a shit about it. And they're like, okay, you know, we'll start you. I think they gave me 2 days, and it was a Friday night, and that's where I learned the terminology, the sandbox. You're going to be on sandbox. And I was like, okay, so work the fry station. But I found out years later that Isaac was like tasked to give me a hard fucking
Oh,
time.
right, to get
to
you
see if
to
I was gonna
weed you
last.
out. Yes.
Yeah. So he to weed
What
me
a
out.
guy to do that.
Dude, he was the fucking worst.
He is, dude. I can imagine the things he put you through.
Oh, dude, it was tough. It was tough, but it didn't last very long because he realized he's like, nah, he's good.
Back to what you said before. You probably came early, probably stayed late.
Exactly.
You probably wanted to do all the things. He's like,
All of
this
that.
is a dude that we can deal with.
Yeah.
This is our guy.
We want him.
Yes.
We want him. And that's what he told me later. He's like, yeah, I was told to weed you out, but you
Part of the
couldn't get
game.
weeded out, And then it didn't take long. And he's like, nah. He's like, nah, chef. Like, we want him. I don't want to make this guy quit. You know what I mean?
Hindsight
So we
is such
kept
a
him around.
beautiful thing, man. Like sitting here now is just like
Yeah.
such a special story.
For sure. And then, that's where we learned the dry aging program that and eventually turned into charcuterie program. So Delmonico was a gem. It was a real good gem.
I still miss it every day, dude. I drive by there like you, but I'm like, man, it's still, I don't know, this is a weird feeling, but I mean, I feel like because it hadn't been anything, it's still preserved and it's kind of still that feel, that like the age, right? Like that's still that thing.
That program.
You know what I mean? And it's a place where
Memories.
16 years ago, dude. I voted for me because when I proposed, I blew out both of my knees in the kickball game like within 30 days. So we had to push the wedding back. But about 17, 18 years I've been married. I haven't been married, but since I proposed to her.
Yeah.
And dude, I still miss that steak. I still know exactly where I hid the ring behind the thing. The place was just lent itself to that whole energy, the wine room, everything was just perfect.
It was sexy. It was like, it felt like a steakhouse, but it felt like a classic, like New Orleans restaurant at the same time. Like it was just so much going on. That wine cellar was beautiful.
It really
the
was,
bar was
dude.
great. The piano,
Everything-
English
right.
Bob at the bar.
Yeah, dude.
man.
Everything. And like, it was just such a good layout of a place to go. And it's like, the ambience of a restaurant is a lot. And that's kind of what, I think a lot of people not take for granted. They just expect it.
Yeah.
But not every place is all created equal, right? And so, but that place, it was ready, dude. It was ready for it.
Yeah.
It was like, let's go. It had a good staff, had good food, and a good building and good bones.
Yeah. If
And
you
right
didn't
in a
have an opportunity to go, you missed out for
Right.
sure.
It really was.
It was a cool place, man.
So when did you, so you went to Delmonico's. We saw you there, man. I would always go in the back and they were like, Jeff was going to get you. Like,
Isaac used to get pissed when you get back there and fucking whistle in his ear. He's like, fucking guy.
Yeah, exactly. He told me that. He told me. He goes, dude, I used to be, because you know how he is. Yeah, he used to be like, I did not like that shit. Like, I know that was being as nice as he possibly could be, right? Right?
Oh my God, he
drive me crazy. Shit.
Yes,
this ain't the place for that.
No, because that was also like the culture of the kitchen. Like nobody but the chef was being able to be heard. Then we didn't have phones, then it was all verbal communication. So we're calling out orders to the sandbox, to the salad, to the app, to the saute, to the grill, desserts. We have a private party going on upstairs, and then fucking Whistle Monster comes in.
Yeah. And see, here's the thing about whistling. I want everybody to listen to this. I'll look in the camera when I tell you this. So there's always two sides of that, right?
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, just want to go and make sure that I'm like, my boy knows I'm here for that steak, dog.
Yeah. Make sure
and
it's
then
tight.
we're going to be right. And so I always be like, as marbly as you can get. It's like a fancy way of saying, get some fat on it. You know what I mean?
Get the nicest one.
Exactly.
It's like picking out a lobster.
Yeah.
Have them cook your lobster.
But dude, and so I'm sitting there and one person always going to say, dude, you got it.
Yeah.
And I'm oh man, and then and like I do it, and there's
You
always
do it for
one
the kids.
and then one person will be like, "What a fucking asshole! Like, why would that dude want to do that?" And I live in between until this day, because I don't want to be like, "Oh, too bougie, huh?
Yeah.
You too good. You can't whistle for us now anymore." But then there's always an Isaac like, "Dick,
dude, you're disrupting my shit."
Yeah, exactly, dude.
This ain't the fucking Superdome, bro.
Bro, shout out to Isaac, bro.
Yes,
we love you, man.
yes,
we are.
sure,
I hope you understand that this is nothing but love in terms of endearment.
Yeah.
And I was gonna go there today, man, and get a burger, but I had a I didn't make it. I should have went. But,
Best burger in Mid City, bro.
Dude, it is.
Yeah.
I'm on it tomorrow though.
Yeah.
But so you guys there, you doing your thing there now. When did you set your eyes on to the next thing?
Well, I mean,
So I looked at some of the things. I'm going to cut you up, but I'm looked at some of the progression.
mm-hmm.
You had like 5 or 10 years at each place, and then you almost went almost clockwork. You know,
Yeah.
so it says here it's like 2016 at Emeril, and then you went to sous chef at 2010. So that's 4 years.
So I'll give you the layout. I started a couple weeks before Katrina at Delmonico. So I had been there maybe a month, and then Katrina hits, and 3-4 months later, Emeril's opens up. So we're talking between 2005 and end of 2005, beginning of 2006 is when Emeril's opens up. And that's where I went because Delmonico was still closed. So I went to Emeril's for almost a year and worked at the flagship. And that's where I really gained, that high volume, that hustle and bustle. It still felt like we were coming out of the 90s with Emeril's, like, big name, big volume, big draw.
Constantly, never a dull moment out there.
No, dude, it was like 2 cooks on every station when it was busy at night. It was just so busy. And I spent a year there with them, and it was like co-chefs, and then Emeril, and then we had the director of operations, and then we had the culinary director, and then we had the assistant culinary director. Like, it was so many big white coats, jackets, chef jackets that were always in there on top of the rest of the brigade, which was all the cooks, all the the saucier, the butcher. It was that, to me,
lights, cameras, action, huh?
At all times, and it was no matter what. It was the flagship, so everybody came to see the restaurant, and the kitchen was open, and that was my first open kitchen.
Wow.
So it was a completely different experience to start working in an
How
open
is
kitchen.
that?
Oh man, it was intimidating. It was very intimidating, and I'm glad I when I went there, I didn't work at the Sandbox. I started working on the salad station.
Wow.
So that was cool.
Out
So
there,
I moved up a little bit.
Right,
I moved up. I started tossing salads.
Coming up. Yeah. You're like, whoa. Look at me. Hey, what's
Yeah.
up? I'm over here handling my business.
Yeah.
And you got people, you got an audience. So it's a different energy.
Yeah, it's a completely different energy. It's a show. That was a show for sure. But it was also one of those, like, dude, you can make it in this place.
That's when you must have figured it out.
That's when I was like, okay, well, you know what? Because it was spreading 12 plates. It was big bowls of 12 Emeril salads. 6
on a grand
with the goat cheese salad.
Yeah.
Man, it was so many different
style, everything big.
It was high volume, fast pace, roll. And then when I look up, and I got my culinary director wiping my table down and helping me with the next pickup. It was like, this is the big guy.
Yeah.
And he's next to me helping me out.
More of that stuff that's going into your
like,
subconscious.
But I didn't realize it until years later, because when I got into management with them, I was like, once you get up to that level, those guys really they direct.
They
mentor, they coordinate,
and, people,
and they taste, and they criticize. They're not hands on with you. They're not really so I still had that
They all kind of turn into Isaacs a little bit. Yeah.
but not in a positive way.
Yeah, right.
Not in the negative way
Right.
he was at the beginning with me. But no, it was cool. So then once again I started moving up. Somebody didn't show up in the hot app station, and it's lunchtime. So I said, all right, my station's open. You want me to go help you out over here? And then, okay. So you jump in, and opportunity's there. And then you start working that station, and they start training you. You're not being trained by the cooks. They're actually training you by the chefs, because they seeing that you're stepping up.
Taking initiative.
And taking initiative.
Hey, showing up early again. Goes back to that same old chopping the wood, head down. I'm here, bro. I'm learning. I'm absorbing like a sponge, just a parakeet. Just like, give it to me.
Exactly. And they see that you're trying. They see that your effort is there, and they want you to become better. So that's when I had a conversation with Chef Chris Lynch. He's over at Chafalaya now.
Chafalaya, yeah.
Yeah. So we were getting to the point where Delmonico was starting to reopen, and Shane and Chris Lynch were basically co-chefs at that time when Emeril's right after Katrina, because only Emeril's and NOLA was open. So Delmonico, half the crew went to Emeril's and the other half went to NOLA. Isaac went to NOLA. Oh, Isaac went to Emeril's with me. And then the other part of the crew went to Isaac went to Emeril's with me. The other part of the crew went to NOLA. So that's where me and Isaac started even getting closer, working tighter. But Chris Lynch stayed at Emeril's, and Shane was going to go back and open up Delmonico. And Chris Lynch came up to me and said, "Hey, man, you really got what it takes to succeed in this business. And I really want you to realize that the talent that you have, the dedication, the work ethic, like you got everything. And a lot of people, I don't tell this to a lot of people, but what you have, I want to keep with me. I want to train you. I want to really, really like
you. I feel like you're blessed. I mean, I know you're blessed, but I mean, like just to have those people at that time, and they're not where they are now, but there's still those people that were
big
there
then, man.
But they still like saw that in you, and you had the people that
I was still in culinary school. I was still like coming to work, doing my final at Delgado, where I'm cooking the 4-course meal for all the instructors while I'm working at Emeril's flagship. So I'm still.
Your instructors must have been like, this guy is rolling.
Because they were like, oh, well, you work at Emeril's. He's going to be good. Like, don't worry about it. Like, you're in a good restaurant. You're in a good establishment.
Yeah.
So you're going to be good. But he tried to talk me into staying at Emeril's once Delmonico reopened. And I said, man, you know what? I would love to, but I'm a loyal person. And that card...
You pulled it today, bro.
Yeah, you pulled it up. And I'm a very loyal person, so I went back to Delmonico in 2006, towards the end of 2006, when we reopened with Shane, Isaac, Spencer, and Anthony. Those were the big guys.
Dude, I want to read that card just one more time because it's a heavy card. Yes. Be loyal to your innermost truth. Mm-hmm. Follow the way when others abandon it. Walk in the path of your own heart.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was. That's what I felt. I like, this is the flagship. I could be, having more hands-on, more exposure, more of a spotlight. I could stay here, but that's not where I started. I wanted to go back. Yeah. So I went back, and then since I went back from 2006 till about 2009. I'm sure you're familiar around
Super Bowl year.
Sure you're familiar.
Oh, we gonna go down that road.
No, I was gonna say that because I went back to NOLA. I went to NOLA for my first management job in 2009. So between 2009 and 2010, right when the Saints won, I was working in the French Quarter.
Whoa.
Yeah. So just imagine that.
So tell me this. Were you guys open the night of the Super Bowl?
Of course.
And so it was like
the restaurant stopped. Everything stopped.
Dude,
for the game.
The only thing that I bummed out about, I went to the game. Mm-hmm. And me, being a Saints fan my entire life, I look at the Saints as my mom, and New Orleans like in Louisiana like my dad. Like sometimes it's like, oh Lord, my parents. Like, please go in the back. We got company. They're like, yeah, that's my people right there. One or the other, right?
For sure.
But I did not even think the Saints would ever go to the Super Bowl. I just never allowed my thought process to get there. I don't know why. But when he kicked the ball through the end zone, hardly hit it, and I was just in tears. Yeah. Like, I didn't even know why. Yeah. But I was. And I was like, holy shit. But then I didn't think twice, dude, to come, get a red eye in case we win and come back. Yeah. But that's the only part that I really
missed out.
And that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear about. Were you working that night there?
Oh, dude. If I wasn't working, I'd be pissed off. I'm glad we opened up. I'm glad that we had service. It was like
you'll never get that experience.
Yeah, no. What I remember, I don't remember shit about the game. All these plays, the fake punt return. We were in and out of because the screens were facing away from the kitchen at NOLA. They were facing the dining room. So
but
really,
you can hear stuff.
Yeah, you can hear stuff. You can hear the commotion, yeah. And then, but it got to the point where, yes, when the halftime, beginning of halftime,
dude, I had missed the ambush sitting in there 2 shows ago, bro.
Bro, you hear that, you stop cooking, you take everything off the stove, and you go watch the TV. Dude. You go see what happened. So the celebration, after the game.
After the game. Talk to me about that. Was it just a zoo, people just crying? People it was everything.
Everything.
Huh?
It was like, I can't compare this to any other moment that you feel like you won something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you won a great game, or,
it was just a collective thing that people have been waiting for so many years.
And never expected it.
That's where I was. And that's why I was sitting there like, dude, I'm here. Like, it was like anticlimactic there. Because
I'm really trying to compare this to another event, but
there's nothing that,
for me, it's nothing to compare it to. But it felt so joyful. It felt like everybody was just coming together. Maybe we just need another fucking Super Bowl.
Wow, yeah, we do. And I'm gonna stay. I'm up whatever it is, dude. I don't want to shoot the gun or put the carts before the carriage, but yeah. I'm gonna be back in New Orleans, win or lose, if we do go into game.
No matter what.
Because you got to celebrate here,
you got to
man.
go to the game, and then you got to come right and be here for that. Dude. It was so different, and being in the quarter. So I'll tell you. Not only was the game on my mind, but it was like a 2 or 3 week span, because I think it was like Mardi Gras and then the game, or the game and then Mardi Gras, and then in between that, my first son was being born.
Oh,
so
dude,
he's a Super Bowl baby.
Yes,
but yeah, he's 2010, February 18th, 2010.
Yes.
So what day was the Super Bowl?
February something. Yeah,
February 9th, maybe something like that. So
7th, I think. Yeah,
and then like Mardi Gras was happening at that time, and then I'm working in the quarter, and everything closes. Like, you can't get in or out of the quarter like during that time. So I'm thinking, oh shit, we got the fucking Super Bowl. Shit, we got Mardi Gras. What if the water breaks and I get stuck? Yeah. And like, I gotta go pick up in the
right.
And so the way it worked out for me, it was perfect, because the whole staff knew at that point that he was coming.
You might be having
and
the bounce.
I might need to have the bounce, but it was perfect because I was opening that day. So I think I had got there at like 7:30 in the morning to open up the doors for 8. And as soon as I'm like pulling up, I get the call. And I tell the staff, I'm like,
the best time
I trust you. It was perfect. It worked out perfectly. And then I was like, you guys, I hope you can take this, but
I need it.
Families first.
100.
So
Dude,
a lot of people miss that stuff. A lot of people, dedicate themselves for work, and
dude.
But I tell everybody I hire, family first.
Yeah, and dude, loyalty, and and the thing is, I think the universe had your back.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And you were opening it up that day, and you were out there, and then you had an opportunity, and you took it. So what I think, for me, you're never going to get rid of that like the memory of like it's winning a championship.
Yes. No.
Like, they can't take it from me.
No,
right?
You can't.
I got married that year.
Okay.
And the third game of the season, I was supposed to leave. Like, we got married on a Friday.
Okay. And
it was the third game of the season. It was playing the Jets. So Stephanie was like, we're going to leave on the Saturday. You're going to miss the Saints game that year. And I was like, it's the Jets.
Was it in New Orleans or in?
It was in New Orleans.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, so we had the wedding, dude. And then we're 3-0 and 3-0.
Yeah.
And all the media's coming in town for this game. The New York Jets versus the Saints 3-0. And I'm like, dude. And at this time, before that, I was like, I'm just going to get somebody. I got to get somebody to dress up like me so they can be a whistle. And I didn't want to not have a presence in time, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm looking. And so Jack from Giacomo's,
okay, he
was like, you got to let me do it. He goes, I was a bear. And when I went to, so he didn't go, he lived not Syracuse, but he was in Syracuse, but he went upstairs, brought me upstairs above Giacomo's, and he had this newspaper article with this book, and he showed me. And there's a picture of him, and he was dressed as a mascot, as a bear. He goes, I could do this, right?
It's different, Bobby.
And so I was like, okay. So we let him. So I had obviously all the helmets. So we got him a helmet, we got him shoulder pads, we got him all this stuff, we got him ready.
Yeah.
But Will, I couldn't leave, dude. And I talked to one of my buddies. I was like, dude, we got it. So we went to the Roosevelt after. She was at the Roosevelt, and I stayed. Me and her stayed at the W for a week.
Okay.
And then on Thursday, she left and went over to the Roosevelt. I went up to the top of the, so we had a party there, and then all of a sudden, a lot of my friends came in town, and I was like, dude, remember, it was still like messed up from Katrina a little bit. Like they were saying our wedding helped. I had people coming in from Costa Rica, people coming from all over. But the thing was, the plan was we're going to order every single dessert on the menu.
Okay.
To get her just like worn down, because we had to go and let some people out this house. We had some work to do. So she was like, filled her up, and she's like, we can postpone it. So I went to the game. So it was 2 whistle monsters in the game, and I left.
That's probably the only game with 2 whistle monsters.
No, but I came back, Mr. Superstitious. I told Jack, I was like, dude, we got to do it again. And so we did it every single time. I think it was like 7 games. That season. It was 2 whistle monsters all the way up until, remember when David didn't know if DeMario was going to, the dude was going to play for Dallas?
Okay.
And then he ended up playing, and then we lost that game against Dallas.
Okay.
Jack was so happy. Because, dude, if you ever want to pump your brand up, let somebody impersonate you.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? Because Jack was getting death threats. They're like,
it's your fault.
Yeah, and I had to go online and tell people. I had to go with him to the bathroom because people like, take that shit off.
Yeah.
You're not the whistle. He's like, no, he's my friend. He's my friend. Take it off. And he's like, dude, I can't go to the bathroom. You got to come. So I had to leave to go to the bathroom with him. I went on social media. People was not buying it. They were like, no, bro, there's only one whistle.
Yes.
I'm like, dude, I am the guy telling you it's okay. But it wasn't. But your son and my wedding, dude, we are not ever going to give that up, because that's a special years for us, bro.
No, it's I mean, so much happened that year.
So with all that stuff,
that was my first sous chef position. Like all of that, 2009 to 2010, dude, all that was a great year. But then, you know, the Isaac left Delmonico in 2010, and he went to go work at his own place, and that's when they called me. No, they didn't call me. The chefs that were working there, they were like, hey, Isaac's leaving. And I said, I want back.
Yeah.
So I went back middle of 2010 to
You were already still in the family. That's a beautiful thing.
They lost me. They lost me, and they lost me to become a sous chef at NOLA. But I saw it as I'm working at the 3rd Emeril Restaurant in New Orleans, because he only had 3 at that point. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to go and take the opportunity. It was offered to me. And then I said, okay, well, I want to come back. You know, NOLA's great. I got the high volume. Like, that's even a little bit more like casual setting than Emeril's was. Delmonico was a lot more fine dining. They were both kind of like the same level of fine dining. There's all the same steps of service, but I think Delmonico was a little bit slower pace, so you could focus more on plate ups and, you know, food presentation.
It's like you couldn't like write this story better. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like just the innocence, of you just saying, "I'm gonna give this place a shot." Yeah, you go and visit your mom in Costa Rica. Like, okay, okay. Well, what is a busboy? Like you weren't like, I'm gonna get in anyway. I'm gonna like
no
a plan. You know,
I didn't
have
a plan. No,
that's another thing that we talk about on this show in nauseum, and you did it here. Flowing with the current.
Yes.
Like, you ever been out surfing or anything or swimming? Whenever that current hit, you know the best thing to do is just flow with it. Swim parallel with the land, but you got to go with the current. When you go with the current, it's easy, and then all of a sudden you find more things, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like, wait, dude, I'm on my 3rd one. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Like, you know,
and this is Emeril's 3rd one. Like, this isn't my 3rd one.
You're in the family.
I'm working for the guy, and I mean, his name is the big guy.
He is the dude.
The big guy.
He always has been.
I went back to Delmonico in 2010, and that's when Isaac left, and that's when I think you and I really started, kind of like seeing each other over there. At
I can come back there and whistle. Nobody's getting upset. No.
Isaac's out the door.
Yeah, we love Isaac.
But then in 2016, actually in 2015, I was getting ready to leave. I was getting ready to tell my boss, like, hey man, like I'm at the point now where, you know, I'm ready to become a chef, or I'm ready to and I mean become a chef in the way of the title, the position of the lead of the kitchen.
I mean, you've been working up from everything.
Well, I mean, at that point, people were already calling me chef, and I never really took that title because I didn't have it yet. But so many people were like, "Nah, dude, like you're a chef.
You're doing it.
Like I want to call you chef." And I was like, "Nah, man, like there is a chef in here," and his name at that point was Spencer Minch, and you know, I also worked for Anthony Scanio when he was a chef, and I was like, I'm not the chef. They are the chefs. That's chef. You call me Will.
I remember calling you chef.
Yeah,
too.
no, but I wouldn't take that,
right?
Because I still didn't.
Is that like a thing in the restaurant business? Because when you know, it's very. I don't do that anymore because I'm very conscious of
who the
calling
chef is.
the chef who was not the chef. Like that's, to me, it feels like
I don't know if it still is, but when I was coming up, like there was only one chef in the kitchen. Now, if Emeril was in the house, he's chef, but if the other chef, it's Chef Chris or Chef Shane or you know Chef Minch, you know. So you would follow the chef by, but if Emeril's in the house, he's chef.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it did come with the rank.
Yeah.
But I told my boss, I said, man, like I'm ready to become a chef, and I don't know if you have something or if you know what the deal is, but if your opportunity comes first, or another opportunity comes first, or an opportunity for me to open up my own place comes first, I'm gonna take either one. So I'm just letting you know that that's where I'm at. This is the place that I'm at in my career now. And he goes, okay, it's understandable. It's the natural, you know, position and place for people in your position to be in. And I'm glad you told me. So then not even a month later, he comes up to me. He's like, I have something for you. And I already knew at that, when we had that conversation, I was like, you had to have known this, but you were letting me marinate. You were letting me sit on it. You were letting to see if I was being too ambitious, or if I was going to pursue something and not be patient. So I was patient enough to where he came in and he was like, Emeril's opening up another restaurant, and he wants you to be the chef. And I was like,
boom,
cool. And then that's when Meril comes up.
Yeah. Dude, so I want to ask you a question about that. So it feels like to me, you are fearless. Like, you know, I mean, each one of these things are not another easy task.
No, not at all.
You know, it's very daunting. It's like coming off here saying
It's
it like
scary.
that. It seems like, yeah, that's what I'm
scary.
saying. But that was so deep into you and your focus. And I always tell people, if it's somebody doing something great, it's their upbringing. Somebody's doing something really bad, it's their upbringing.
Sure,
you know,
sure,
we're just like parakeets. Young kids are like a sponge absorbing information and parakeet, right? And what I think you absorbed and was as a parakeet was like, I'm going to go and do it, and I can figure it out.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? But that's
figure it
pretty.
out.
That's pretty brave, though, man. Especially in a kitchen, like food, where people can.
I would say,
easily.
especially working for Emeril Lagasse. You know, that's like the
whole nother level of stress, or could be.
Well, no, that's the bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, so you already at the bar, and you're like, look, if I can do it here, or if I do it here, I mean,
I didn't feel like I got to his bar. I wanted to get there.
So you kept feeling like you were working.
I still have. I gotta get up there. You know what I mean? Like I'm still here, and I want to be up there. Why? Because I see that it's, you know, attainable. I see that it's, you know, you can work to that. You know, and he did it through work. He did it through dedication. He did it for a passion. And that's what I see from him. And then that's really what I'm like.
That's what you were doing too. Because you got the bug.
Yes.
You got the bite. It bit you. And you were like, oh, shit. All right. But again, about the fearlessness, from not even knowing what a busboy is to going to a busboy, then going to dishwasher, to not like no kind of, man, I don't know, you just like, yeah, I'll gobble that up.
Sure.
Oh, that too? No problem.
Yeah.
Oh, that? Yeah. Okay, cool. Hey, oh, y'all need something here? After I'm already in my first place out here, like outside of my comfort zone, because you said in the beginning, you really like being in your own zone, not having to do, but when you went to Emeril's, it was open kitchen.
Yeah.
So now you're at the salad, you just kind of like, all right.
This is
all right,
different.
This is different, but I'm still rolling with it.
Yeah.
And then once you was doing that enough, you still had the wherewithal to say, y'all need help over here?
Yeah.
My stuff's straight. I come over there.
Yeah.
Not like, hey man, I don't know if I can do that, but I'm gonna do this the best way. But
No.
that open-mindedness of being able to be teachable and wanting to learn more and wanting to get to where you're going.
Correct.
That is something so valuable. And kids, listen to that. If you can take anything from Will, from at this point of what we're talking about, be teachable, always be open. Don't be afraid. Because if you would have been afraid and scared, I mean, who knows where your career could have went. You just was like, it seems like, and now look, we're talking years and years and years, but you still did it.
Yes.
Regardless of whatever. You didn't say, I'm going to do this for 2 years. Or maybe you did, but the point was you got through each one.
Yeah.
And then you climb that ladder every angle.
Correct.
And then you're like, you know what? There's another ladder coming around here. And you're like, I think, I'm going down that road.
Correct.
And then like when he told you about the one thing, you're like, okay, I know I want to go and do this, but I don't know if he's dragging his feet or whatever, but I'm going to
wait it out.
Stay in my lane. I'm going to do my thing. And then next thing you know, guess what?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Brand new. Like even better than if he
Brand new restaurant, man. No, you don't get that. You don't.
It was a big deal. I remember. It was huge. Everyone was talking about how big of a deal it was.
I went over there for Mother's Day, and there isn't the same amount of staff that still works here that when I was working there, but maybe like 2 or 3, and people that are like new that I have never met, that I never even met them.
Knew that was your baby.
They're like, bro, it's such a pleasure to meet you. Like, I've heard amazing things about you. And it that hits different because you're like, that's how much of an impact it was. Like, that's how, like, you don't realize it until later on, years later. I mean, that opened up in 16. We're in 26 now.
I'm just saying though, Will, I mean, I throw bouquets at people's feet and their flowers while they're alive. Yeah. I'm very big on believing that. Why? Because you go to somebody's funeral, you're like all boo-hooing and like, dude, you love them. You like
what happened when they were awake?
Yeah, dude, when they were alive. But the thing is, with you, man, not even on a whole just a cooking vibe. Yeah, that's what we kind of hung up and met. But as a human, as a person, for sure, as a father, as with your kids, as a dude out in a community, you're always that dude that was really cool. Yep. We're always approachable. We're always talking. We always around Saints, just like, but still doing it real big on a big level.
For sure.
And that's the balance. And again, I had to come back from family, man. You know what I mean? And the truth is, I never, ever thought when you told me, because I remember when you were I'm getting a little ahead of the story here, when you were like, dude, it was like.
You came for my last night at Meril.
Yeah.
I forgot.
And you're like, dude, I got to tell you,
bro.
This is like, this is a big thing. And you were like, it was still
that.
Like real close to. Like almost in your beginning of your career, like you're saying, like, okay, well, dude, this, back to what you talk about with family, and it's an opportunity. Yeah. And you said, dude, I'm gonna do this, and man, it's very emotional for me, but to see you grow and to see where you are now, and man, there's always some uncertainty in life, right?
For sure,
forever.
And that was
family
more,
and take those shots.
I was more scared leaving the restaurant than I was to taking on Meril.
Yes, exactly. And that's one of the things that you were saying. You were like, dude, like it was some uncertainty there, like unknown uncertainty.
It was very unknown.
Not like that, not that you couldn't do it. It was just that you have built this whole mountain from like going from the beginning over there at Dell's to from the sandbox to like owning have your own restaurant now. And now you're like, oh, by the way,
I'm out.
Yeah.
Dude, that was scary. And I've had the person that knew how scared I was my dad, because we had Mawi at that point. Mawi came up when we were opening up Meril, and Mawi is a tortilla bakery first. And when I was opening up Meril, I was tasked with, the menu, like design and testing and recipe development.
Dude, I remember the time you were telling me when you had to talk to him about it, and you were going to go tell him, like,
yeah. And all I told him was, look, bro, like I'm gonna leave my 401k. I'm gonna, it came with me, but I'm gonna leave my health insurance, my dental. I'm gonna leave my salary,
because you're going with a loyalty again, going with your heart, dude.
But it really was more so because I'm spending more time dedicating thought and focus on the Mawi business with my dad than I was coming in at Meril, because I felt like I was putting a lot of effort, I was putting a lot of energy into it, but there was still more time that I wanted to dedicate to my own business. And I think that was the next level of what the achievement is going to be.
That's
next.
where you circled, in my mind, that was the circled, highlighted situation where that's where it was in your career and your juncture in life, right then and there. It's like, this is a killer opportunity, dude. Like my dad, and like, cause, and you, dude, I mean, argumentatively, you have like climbed that corporate ladder to the top like two or three times.
I did, and I almost felt like the reason also why I didn't continue working with the company was because the ladder stopped there. And the corporate guys were locked in, and I would have kept wanting to move up in the corporate department.
That's just a natural progression of where you are. Yeah,
of course, but it didn't feel like that opportunity was going to come soon enough. And
whether it would have or not, but I think that the part of your deep sense of family and loyalty to it, just in general, of being a person, I felt like when I was talking to you, you felt like you had to do this. Yeah. Regardless of whatever.
And now, you think about how people speak. I listen to things differently now, because now it's like, well, if I didn't do it, then I would never know what would have happened, and
that's true.
I would have stayed, in the secure company, corporate, environment, or I wouldn't have known that even if I failed in my own business, in my own family, then it would be an unknown, because I never took the risk or the opportunity.
One of the things I look at in life, just for me, is like, I get this from David Goggins. I have two spirit animals, right? One is Rick Rubin, and the other one is David Goggins, right? And Goggins talks about there is no failure. Right? Like, he talked about when he went to go and break the world's record for pull-ups, right? It was like 20, like it was like 3,000 or something like that, pull-ups. And he practiced and went, and the first time he did it, he only got to like 2,500. I'm like, 2,500. And then he goes, that was just his first time. That he didn't fail. And he goes, people who are out there like telling him, oh man, you didn't do it, you failed. But
he didn't know he could get 2,500.
But they can't even do 100, right? Or 2 or 3, right? Whatever. But they got, like, that's just how the humans are.
Sure.
But he went back and he set the record at like 5,500 or some crazy shit. Right? But he did it 2 or 3 times so he can do it. Same way with trying to be a Navy SEAL. He went over and over. And the same way but you've been fortunate. Like, you hit lightning almost every time when you.
Yes.
I look at life. It's like raising a kid, right? Like, they send you home with the kid, no instructions, no nothing, good luck. And nobody has the right or wrong way to how to do it.
Correct.
Right? You just got to go down your own road. So with that in mind, you get sometimes what you learn off of what your family taught you and what you learn from other people, and you put that together, and your spirituality and what you think and your values, and you go with that.
Yep.
And then sometimes it gets to the point where you walk in and then you feel like you got to make a decision, and you ran out of road, and there's no more land.
Mm-hmm.
Like your next step is going to be blind, whether the kid wants to drive or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and you just like,
That's a new chapter. That's a new chapter.
like, what do I do? Am I going to just take this step of everything I know, and I just don't know. And then you just say, okay, this is what I know, and this is what I was taught, so I'm going to go with this. And the next thing you know, it's like
It works
you got a
out.
whole nother mile. You know, in the same way like raising a kid, and the same way with you. When you went every single time, man, loyalty. See how these cards play. It's crazy how these cards always play back into the same thing.
For
but
sure.
throughout your career, you was always true to yourself. You was always true to your heart. You always went down with what you felt. You could have had different ways easily. And both of them were just as high, but you went down your road. And then the ultimate, once you get what every person would probably want who came from where you want, their own spot.
Yeah.
Now you got you writing all this, and then all of a sudden, here's another opportunity, another one of those things in life, like raising a kid. Like, what are you going to do here?
Yeah.
And you took that step.
Yeah, I took that
And it's
step,
like,
and
look at it now.
it was a very humbling time, you know, because you're going from this was something my dad was more worried about than me, but he's like, you're gonna go from being in the spotlight to, you know, having a place in a
To work again, like going back to step in the beginning, in a sense,
Yeah.
of building.
building up. Yeah, and it was humbling, but it was also very much a very nice time because I got to take a break almost. I got to take a breather. I got to take a step back and not fully focus on a restaurant. I got to focus on the kids. I got to focus on a relationship with them. I got to spend time with my dad. You know, I got to really like bond with my brothers. You know, so it really was a different time that I'm grateful for. You know,
Dude, speaking of your resume, talking about them like overlooking the book,
yeah,
right? The resume now, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like that could be a film, a
Correct.
movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a motivating movie, a real life story of this
sure, for
guy
sure.
who did it for kids. It's super motivating, man.
yeah, man. It goes back to, you know, what your heart tells you to do, what your heart makes you feel, where you want to go, you know, and what's right. You know,
Loyalty to your own truth.
Also not forcing anything. And I think that that other card, I not the word suffering,
right? But just
but
the whole
what it said.
Yeah,
If
about
you
the whole,
but if it what you read about it, I think part of it was, you know, you won't suffer if you don't start
thinking about things you don't have, right? It's
You won't-
basically it says the cause of all suffering is craving, desiring things that you do not have, and suffering will follow. Realize this, and peace will be yours. Suffering will disappear, and contentment will reign. And dude, you weren't suffering; you was just doing exactly what you felt, and so it wasn't feeling like you were suffering by leaving Meril's to go to your folks, but it was just
No.
that's what you had in your heart, and that's what you wanted to do, and you thought about it, and you said, you know, this is the right thing to do, and I'm going to do it and reward it.
Yeah,
Boom.
there is reward with that, but also like, you know, with I think there's aspirations, but there's also like, if you don't mind,
Yeah, get in there.
I'm very content, you know, with my life, with cravings. I don't have like cravings to, you know, get the best kitchen, get the best, you know, equipment, or get
And
the best car.
that takes
or
away the suffering.
and I never even thought about it as, if you are that way, then that's why you will suffer. I've always kind of just been like, I'm cool. Like,
Yeah, see, you cool with whatever. If
I'm
you-
cool. I'm cool with what I've been given. I'm cool with what I've been achieved. I'm cool with what I've been able to receive, whether it's from, you know, life, whether it's from God, whether it's
Yep.
from my family,
Yep.
whether it's from my friends. You know, I'm very
Content.
very fulfilled.
Yeah.
You know,
And, what I hear when you say that in general, because I do this 3 times a day, is gratitude. Have 15 minutes of gratitude. That's what that little alarm was. 555 333 and 1111. But you're grateful
Yes.
for what you
sure.
do. And I learned that at an early age. And I tell this story, like I was about 8, 9 years old, and I was like, you know, we were eating like eggs and rice for dinner and at nighttime. And I was like, are we poor?
Yeah.
They were like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? And I was like, this is breakfast food. Why don't we have, you know, like dinner food? And my grandmother or mom would be like, look, some people don't have eggs and rice.
Sure.
Some people don't have a table to have it. They don't have air conditioning. They don't have color TV. And then she hit me with this one. They don't have their own room. Immediately, Will, I realized, I said, we are rich.
Yeah.
And that's just, that's how it is. And like, that's that gratitude there. And that's exactly what you have there. You're like, dude, I'm not missing anything
No.
because I'm good.
I'm healthy.
Yes.
You know, I'm happy. I have a beautiful wife.
Yes.
We're going to get married.
Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. But that's another blessing, man.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
and that's another special chapter now. You know, I found somebody
still
who's
writing.
like just like cool.
Yeah.
There's no issues. There's no fights. There's no problems. It's support. It's this just amazing like
Yeah, it's a good
togetherness,
thing. Dude, this
you
is
know?
the thing that I think that people realize when they get married, or when they find that person, like,
Yeah.
you know what? That is definitely the person. for
Yes,
me. Like,
yes.
I know that in my heart.
Yes.
And I feel like that about my wife.
Yeah.
And we've been through some shit.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But that even made us realize it even more after being apart for 12 years.
Yeah.
I tell her, I was like, I was waiting for you every day.
Yeah.
And she was like, you had like 2 modeling agencies. You weren't waiting for me. I was I was interviewing a lot of people, but I couldn't find nobody like her. The truth. That's the real deal, dude. And I like, my grandma would always say, if you keep looking at the pot, the water's never going to boil. Bro, I was looking at that pot for 12 years,
pot
dude.
never boils.
And the thing is, literally, when I said and I've been through everything on that 12-year thing, like I'm away for her, I screwed up. And I messed up. It was me. It was all on me. As
Of course, it's always the man's fault.
It was all on me. And I knew that. And I was like, dude,
Yeah.
God damn. And then I went through, I'll be here forever. All our friends were like, she's with the wrong guy. All this, like, I'm the last person she's going to listen to, you know? And then finally, when in my heart and in my soul, I was like, fuck her. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm over. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Dude, she called me that week.
Shit.
That
No,
week.
you're not.
12 years.
She called
dude,
to tell you you're
that
not.
week. And I was just like, damn. But that's just a special thing, man.
It
And I'm
is.
very happy for you guys.
Yeah.
You guys look happy every
Appreciate
time I
it.
see you.
Yeah.
And look, and a guy like you to be happy, you know that he definitely thoroughly knows what he wants. It ain't like he's just grabbing whatever's easy and it's right there. And I'm happy for you, Will. I'm really happy for you as a
appreciate it,
friend,
man.
as a brother, as a person, as a New Orleanian, as a sports fan. I'm a
Yes.
big fan, man, and our relationship that we have as friends. I'm very, very
I can't believe
happy.
I forgot you were there the last night I worked at Meril.
But dude,
That
you
was
laid
like
it down to
yeah.
me. I was like,
Forgot
wow,
about
this dude is really.
Yeah.
Me and Stephanie was just so pulling for like everything. Man,
Yes.
everything that you touch, dude, is good.
Appreciate it.
Everything that you cook was like, and then the Costa Rican stuff. And you had that okra too.
yes.
I was like, dude, it was over once I hit that. Oh, my favorite food is okra, bro. And I was just like, what?
We keep talking about that. I need like, a restaurant now, so we're
Don't you
pulling
have
some
the thing
feelers
in,
out.
so it's you have 2 places now. You got, and
Yeah, so what I have Mawi and Meril.
Yep.
Which also has the wholesale bakery that we now have in Kenner.
That's beautiful.
So that's where it all started for us. And then we had an opportunity to go open up in a food hall in Ocean Springs. It's called Crave Food Hall.
yep.
Yes. So that opened up a year ago now. And but it like 4 months into it, a vacancy came available, and we were given the opportunity to open up a new concept out there. So we opened up what's called Shoreline's Coastal Kitchen.
Yep.
And that's now in one of the booths in the food hall as well. So we're running 2 kitchens over there. So like these are like,
You gonna get me over to Mississippi, dude. You can get me to Ocean Springs.
I'm going back there today.
Yes, dude. When they had the big flood after Katrina, I had some friends that lost the house in Ocean Springs.
Yes.
And I spent a bunch of time there, and it's a cool little place. It's real tight,
nice,
tight.
It's just chill, very quiet. I mean, it's not a big population, but a lot of people come from all over there. From Mobile, from Biloxi, like all the way from. I mean,
for
people from Lake Charles.
You're bringing quality there.
And that's the thing is like I'm seeing that the stuff that we're doing, the approach that we have, the techniques that we're bringing over there, it's something that's been missing. And I've never been to Ocean Springs before we got there, and a lot of people were like, "Wait, you're making your own salad dressings?" Like, wait, you're cooking chicken parmesan in a skillet with butter and oil, and you're not deep frying it. Like you're actually like tossing the pastas in the sauces. You're not putting the sauce on top of the pasta. Like, yeah,
I feel like a proud.
We're really cooking.
I feel like your dad, dude. I feel like a proud parent, man. Because to watch your growth is, for me, it's rewarding to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because you hear so many stories of people, dude. This dude was, but like almost we would have did it, but now I'm doing this, but we really almost could have did this.
Yes.
I think your story when we going through it, it wasn't like couldn't have did it. Like you just flowed with the current. It's the only thing that I had to say, and like. For you now, I feel like you went from a giant fish in a pond with a bunch of fish here, and then now you go out there.
I'm a big fish
and you're
in a
this
little
big
pond.
Fish in this little pond,
That's
just like splashing around, and like people like, wow, did you see that?
That term has been used a couple times with me already so far since I went to Ocean Springs.
So much history to bring to that place, and so much skill, so much talent, so much taste buds.
I also feel like hospitality. I think the chef is always known for the food, is always known for the plate ups and the flavors and the cooking skills and all that. But I think what we need to also like touch on is that the chef is part of the hospitality, and that's where I think a lot of my energy and my focus has been in the last few years is making sure that when people come in the door, we're not like giving them good customer service. We're providing hospitality for them. You know what I mean? So like I'm stepping out of the kitchen more into the hospitality realm of things as, an operator, I guess, or as, a person who is making you want to feel welcome, to have all of your needs provided for you, to anticipate the things that you're going to want, from us. And that's, for me, is kind of like one of those stamps that I want to leave, is making sure that our hospitality industry based out of New Orleans is being elevated and shared and provided for outside of New Orleans. Dude. Because New Orleans is the hospitality city, man. Like
you hit both of the home runs, right? So you got New Orleans, known for its food, and then you're talking about, I came up under E. And then I was able to like kind of just write my own story.
Correct.
It wasn't like I was cookie cut it like a bunch of people doing this stuff. You got to write your own story.
Correct.
Dude, I mean, it's unbelievable sitting here talking to you,
Appreciate it, man.
And look, I always say we want to go about 55 minutes.
How long have we been now?
I'm an hour and 22.
See what I'm saying? Like, I got to get back to Ocean Springs, dude.
Dude, I want to get you out of here on some quick questions.
Go ahead.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
Oh, man, why you got to ask me that?
I mean, so I'm going to make it easy. Your favorite thing to cook for yourself that you like to eat.
That's the thing. I don't cook for myself.
You don't?
I don't. Ask me the first question again.
Okay. What's your favorite thing to cook?
Whatever my family wants me to cook for them.
Dude, I think you should marry him as quick as possible.
The other day, we split our time between New Orleans and Ocean Springs, and for Mother's Day, we were in New Orleans, but we drove back to Ocean Springs that evening. And I'm not a big person who has a bunch of groceries sitting in the fridge or in the pantry. I buy what I need for when I'm cooking. And she's like, I was like, well, what are you gonna do for dinner? And she goes, I'm kind of in the mood for some pasta tonight. And I was like, no problem. I'll be right back. So me and the kids went to the grocery store. We got stuff for the week. And then I made sure that I had pasta. So she was resting that evening. So she ate in bed. I made her a plate. You know, the boys ate in the kitchen. And then when she was done, and I guess she's in that like 2-hour zone of like right before you fall asleep, she goes, "Thank you for that pasta.
Nice.
It was really, really good."
That's all you need.
That for me is what I love to cook. Touchdown. You know what I mean? But that's
what you said in the beginning. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's what you like the most. Mm-hmm. That's what you like, the fact that somebody say, "Dude, since Delmonico's gone, I can't get that no more."
Yeah.
You know, that lady coming back saying, when I come here,
I'm coming back for this.
I'm coming back that. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what she said.
That's the fulfillment of the job, for sure.
See, I guess this leads right into the next question. I was going to say, what would you tell a young kid that's starting off, that's like you, that didn't really know, but applied for a job that's probably like a busboy, and it's just like, it's a busboy job. But like, if you had some advice for him, like, I think I know what you would say, but what would you tell them as far as what I think you would say? I'll tell you. I think you would say, do what your heart tells you.
I was about to say, follow your heart.
Yeah. You know, and because that's what I see what you did. Yeah. And whether it's going to be like their story, man, going to be like your story.
Yeah.
Everybody's story is their own thing. That's what makes us so beautiful, is that we're different and we all aren't the same, and we don't have to follow that. And how about a shout out to Eat? Like, I don't know exactly how it went down, but it seemed like he would just let you guys grow into who you going to be, rather than like somebody saying, "This is who you're going to be. This is who we are. This is how you do it." There may be some of that, don't get me wrong, but it still had room to grow, to say, you know what? Maybe he didn't want to go to Dell at that time, so let's just let him go over here to NOLA. Yeah, you know, and have that. And I'm sure it ain't like that all the time, probably. And then when you had to leave, you know, all of those, a lot of different dynamics. I just
found out that he was like upset when I left, and I didn't know that. For me, my position, yes, was a high position and a high dedicated position. You know, that you can't just replace easily. You know, so, but I thought I did everything right, gave enough notice, you know, trained my replacement, you know, and
did it the right way.
I did it the right way, you know, but the effort that I think that he was putting into me, I think it bothered him that I left. And, you know, I didn't know that he felt that way. I didn't feel that. But a close friend of ours was like, "Nah, man, like you really like I've seen other chefs leave, but when you left, he was not cool with it, and he was not happy." But you know, I still talk to him. I still email. I still text him. Happy Father's Day.
Yep, today is their anniversary.
Happy anniversary. And I called him, you know, right after Christmas, just to like, you know what we were going through the ice situation, and I was like having a lot of staff shortages, and you know, I was just like, I didn't know who to call. And I'm like on the road, like back going to Mississippi. It was like I'm working my ass off in Meril, and I had to go back to Mississippi. And I just called him just because I was like, I need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
I call him, and he's like, "What's up, Will?" And I was like, "Hey, chef, thank you for taking the call. Number one, like he's the busiest guy you ever gonna meet, right?" And he's like, "No, what's up?" He's like, I was like, "Nah, man, I'm just checking in with you, seeing how you doing. You know, I'm having some difficulties with staffing right now. You know, just," he's like, "No, it's all happening everywhere. You know, everybody's going through the same thing." And I was like, you know, I was like, "You're good?" He's like, "Yep, no, I'm over here getting ready for service." I'm like, "Bro, you're getting ready for service? Like you're like you're the guy. Yeah. Like you usually have people getting service ready for you." Like he's like, no, like I'm working at the restaurant tonight. I'm like,
I think you guys are a lot alike, though, dude. Like a lot alike.
We have some similarities.
Yeah,
you know. But I think people say I look more like Paul Prudhomme, but
yeah. But one of the things and I'm gonna bounce on this one. One of the things that you were saying, like he was upset when you left, but you had to go to do what you had to do.
He knew that.
And that's what I felt. I felt like he understood that. But
he knew that.
It's good. It has to make you feel good to know that he cared enough to be like, damn, Boston.
Yeah.
Really? good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but that's a testament to you though, man.
For sure, man. For
and
sure.
Will, look,
For
dude,
sure.
the last thing I want to ask you is this. How you feel about this draft?
Saints draft? I have no idea right now.
Okay.
No clue.
Because that's the same thing I said.
I'm not in it. I'm not, I thought you were talking.
I never.
I thought you were going to, I was like, hey, man, I thought we weren't talking politics.
Oh, no.
What draft are we talking about?
Right? No, the draft we're talking about is like, I feel like Kalen Moore, it has a second year.
Yeah.
I don't ever pay attention. First of all, everybody knows that I don't pay attention until they wear jockstrap cleats and under the lights and see if they make the team even.
Yeah.
It's just a talking heads thing. It's just like a little chatty thing that people talk about.
For sure.
But I definitely didn't want to let you get out of here without talking about Saints. So I just want to easily a bow on it. But look, I got to tell you this. One thing that I want to do with you is I want to go to a game with you. And I know a lot of times on Sunday is probably a tough day for you to get away.
If it's probably the easiest day nowadays.
Is
for
it?
me.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
for sure.
So we're gonna go to
Let's
the
do
game.
a game.
You and
look,
I.
if you want to, I don't know what our availability is, my love, but you want to go to the one in Paris?
Dude, let me tell you, I'm going
We
to
just
Paris
left Paris. I know you
on the
we were gonna tell
29th,
you
and I'm going to go and do some work. Oh, you know what? Okay. Boom. I'm going to put you on a gig too. So right now, I'm going, and I'm going to have 5 days to myself while my wife is going through breakouts. We got all these different things to do for a week with our company.
Sure.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the people that are markets. The Paris has a big Saints, like a big Saints
sure.
following and people there.
Yeah.
So I have access to the Wills, to the Frenchies, to the Ivans, to the Mardi Gras Indians, to the Jason Seidler cooking crawfish, to you. So I'm pitching all these people like bring the Whistle Monster, and I
the
can
entourage.
get you to all of this, and we can give you the New Orleans flavor,
For sure.
and you're in.
Look, I'll tell you this. We're basically French now.
Yep.
Latanja and I have been here the last 2 years.
Nice.
Twice already. We the first year we went with the city of New Orleans. Not city of New Orleans. We went with New Orleans and Company for the Bocuse d'Or final in France. And we were
Dude, I
invited
need to call you before we get down there.
Dude, so we spent a week in Lyon, France, and then after that, her and I, we went to Paris, spent a couple days there, and then this last month, we were there for 12 days in France. We spent like 3 days in Champagne region. Wow. We spent like 3 days in Paris. We spent 4 days in Bordeaux.
I must have
hit
been
up
terrible.
cognac. I'm telling you, we're French. We're French now. Like I swear to God. But we're still like the hotel called us and they were like, "Hey, I think you left your glasses here."
We'll be back next month.
That's what I told her. I said we're gonna go back and pick them up. Don't worry about it. Tell them to keep them safe for us.
Will-
No, but they shipped it to us.
Well, I know that you got to get bouncing, man.
Yes,
but
yes.
I always say this.
Let's go
Thank
to the
you
game.
so much. Yes,
Let's go to the
And
game.
So we have this big 6 things that I always say when we leave.
Sure.
It's the big 6 things that you can do that's okay, that people can do as a foundation to have a great life, right?
Sure.
It's have empathy, humility, and compassion for yourself first. Because highly motivated people like ourselves don't always say, we don't celebrate those little bitty victories on the way up to the top, right? We always like, dude, I got to get to where I'm going. I don't have time. But that's bullshit. You pour the Gatorade on yourself. Cheer. Don't build a house and live there.
Yeah.
But just along the way, because you gave up a lot to get to that little place where you are now.
For sure.
And then that's gonna motivate you to go up further. That's the first 3. The last 3 is always help people. Because helping people is an inside job.
Yes.
If our first 3's here and somebody fell outside, we went and helped them up, they're gonna be happy because we helped them. And we're gonna be happy because it
feels
just
good.
felt good.
Feels good.
Right? And then the next thing is always be better than the day you were before. Because we imperfect, man. We're gonna miss an email. We're gonna miss a reservation. We're gonna miss a customer. But just turn the page.
Sure.
Start tomorrow.
Sure.
And lastly but not least, leave the world better than you found it. Now, how do you do that? You can do it with food. You can do it with air. You can do it with water. What we focus on is meeting a stranger. Like when you woke up this morning, meet somebody you did not know, have a good encounter with them, y'all go away and do the same thing 3 or 4 times and feel good about it.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that leaving the world better than you found it?
For sure.
And it doesn't cost 1
Yeah,
cent.
just being kind to somebody you don't even know.
That's it. And look, like, subscribe, share, tune in, follow Will. Will, tell them about how they can get in touch with you right now at the restaurants and anything that you're promoting or pushing.
Yeah. So my personal page on Instagram is at Chef Will Avelar. We have Mawi NOLA, Maui Ocean Springs, and we have Shoreline's Coastal Kitchen, all on Instagram and Facebook. I'm also on TikTok at Chef Will Avelar. And then we have our Shoreline's TikTok coming up as well. So
Sweet.
yes.
And look, I cannot let you get out of here without talking about.
Oh, I'm also starting YouTube.
Yeah.
Shorts. I'm doing. I got me the Meta glasses.
Oh,
so I got a few.
you're about to take it to the next level.
Yeah,
Always.
yeah, so
I can't let you get out of here without giving you some props about that seersucker, bro.
Man, okay,
that is fire, dude.
Can
I have not ever seen a seersucker chef coat ever.
So I'm inspired by my good friend Chef Frank Bryston.
Oh, Frank is cool,
He
dude.
started this.
Oh, did he?
I don't know where he got it from or if he got it from anybody else, but
Look at Frank.
I
Got
saw-
him a shout out.
I saw Chef Frank with it, and I said, "That's tight."
It is,
It's
dude.
tight.
I almost want to. I told you when I saw it, I almost want to spot
So
one.
I was talking to Latanja, and I said, "Hey, I don't know what am I going to wear to this interview today?" And she goes, "I don't know, wear your Maui stuff." And I was like, it's all kind of like, faded out at this point. I don't really have anything fresh. Like, I was like, what about that seersucker one I got last week? And she's like, that's the one.
It is. It's cold blooded, bro.
This is the first time I'm
Debut,
wearing this
baby.
piece today.
Debut. Who that? I love
Who
you,
dat,
Will,
baby?
man.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so
Love
much
you
for
too.
your time.
Appreciate it.
Sweetheart, let me tell you something. You got yourself a solid guy, and I'm sure you are definitely. He is
super
very,
solid.
very well rounded, and that says a lot about you. If you're the person that he picked, and you guys hit it off like that, I couldn't be happier for you guys. I love you. Anything you want, and I'm taking care of this lady now.
Yes.
Anything
you mean it. When
I
you
do
say
mean
it.
it. I do mean it to the fullest. Take care and listen.
Appreciate it.
Who that?
Walking